Hello students, this is the fifth part of video for chapter number 5 from history. The companies fights back. Now as in the previous video you have already read about the rebellion spread, how the people has mutinied, mainly the sepoys has mutinied regiment after regiment and captured their kingdom and region back from the company by defeating them. So about many rulers we have read, Avanti Bai, Rani Lakshmi Bai, and British were outnumbered by the rebel forces, their power collapsed, and even they got fear that their number of opposing the sepoys that is constantly increasing, and endless fighting were going on with the Britishers. Even the zamindar, the soldiers, even the qazis, they all were participating in the rebel. It was not only the rebellion or revolt from the sepoy only, the common people also were participating. Now for the same, how the company fights back, how they have answered this kind of rebellion against them. Unawed by the scale of upheaval, the company decided to repress the revolt with all its might. So with its all powers, the Britishers tried to just suppress the revolt. They decided. Now what they have done for that? The company brought reinforcement from England, passed new laws so that the rebels could be convicted with ease, and then moved into storm centers of revolt. So here they started recruiting the soldiers from the England. Now they were not recruiting the soldiers from India because they had revolted against them. So they started recruiting the soldiers from England, and even they passed a new laws so the rebels could convicted very easily, as they are no more the part of the army. And later on they moved to the storm centers of the revolt where it was being started, the Meerut, Delhi. This was the main centers where the rebellion was in hike. So Delhi was recaptured from the rebel. So they targeted Delhi first, it was recaptured from the rebel forces in September 1857. The last Mughal emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar was tried in court and sentenced to life imprisonment. As he was the leader, the leader for the rebellion by the sepoys, as the sepoys declared. So he was tried in court and found guilty, and he got the punishment as life imprisonment. He and as well as his wife's name was Begum Zinat Mahal, were sent to prison in Rangoon in October 1858. Bahadur Shah Zafar died in Rangoon jail in November 1862 after the 4 years of his imprisonment. The recapture of Delhi, however, did not mean that the rebellion died down after that. So, one step the company has put forward, but it was not all unsuccessful, you can say. It doesn't mean the rebellion died down. Still, the sepoys were protesting, the common people were protesting against the Britishers. People continued to resist and battle the British, as I said. The British had to fight for 2 years to suppress the massive forces of popular rebellion. So you can just imagine that to suppress the rebellion of the sepoys that was being started, British took 2 years to suppress them. So what powerful rebel was from the sepoys against the Britishers? Just to suppress them, British took 2 years. Lucknow was taken in March 1858. So this was taken by the Britishers from the rulers who have captured it from the Britishers. Now it was being recaptured or reconquered by the Britishers. So Lucknow was taken in March 1858. Rani Lakshmi Bai was defeated and killed in June 58. So her kingdom was also taken by the Britishers. A similar fate awaited Rani Avantibai also, who after initial victory in Kheri chose to embrace death when surrounded by the British on all the sides. So she won two battle against the Britishers, and by the second battle she was being defeated by the Britishers, but instead of just embracing handling over herself to Britishers, instead of that she chose death. So because she was surrounded by the British officers. Now Tatia Tope escaped to the jungles of central India and continued the fight against the Britishers, and this was known the famous battle as guerrilla war, as he got the support from the tribal and the peasant leaders. Again, he was also captured and tried in court and killed in April 1859. Just as victories against the British had earlier encouraged rebellion, the defeat of rebel forces encouraged desertion. The British also tried their best to win back the loyalty of the people. They announced reward for the loyal landholders would be allowed to continue to enjoy traditional rights over their lands. Those who had rebelled were told that if they submitted to the British and if they had not killed any white people, they would remain safe and their rights and claims to land would not be denied. Nevertheless, hundreds of sepoys, rebels, nawabs and rajas were tried and hanged. So in this paragraph, what it is saying, that the victory against Britishers encouraged the rebellion, but what happened later on, the defeat from the Britishers also encouraged the desertion, because they were also defeated by the Britishers. So what happened? The next thing, the Britishers tried their best to win back the loyalty of the people, as they want to again rule the region. They want the people back as they were working for the Britishers before. So same as they want the trust back from the people. They announced rewards for the landlords, loyal landlords, holders also you can say, landholders, would be allowed to continue with their traditional rights over their lands. But here he put an condition, the Britishers has put an condition, that those who had rebelled were told that they can submit to the Britishers, they can continue with Britishers as they continued in past, but if they had not killed any of the white people, then only they can continue with them. And even their rights would remain safe and they can claim their land too. But what happened then too also, as they given this kind of offer to the Indian people, but hundreds of sepoys, rebels, nawabs and rajas were tried and hanged them. It means they have killed them, though they have given offer like this. Aftermath, the Britishers had regained control. So what was the result? How after the British has fight back against the Indian sepoys, zamindars and rajas. So here the British had regained the control of the country by the end of 1859. So the British got their power back by the end of 1859, but they could not carry on ruling the land with the same policy anymore. It means they were not enjoying the same power as they were having in the past before the rebellion. Now there were many changes occurred and happened in the ruling period, how they have to rule. What were the changes that were being written in points? Here it is given below. These are the important changes that was being introduced by the Britishers. The British Parliament passed a new act in 1858 and transferred the power of East India Company to the British Crown in order to ensure a more responsible management of Indian affairs. A member of British cabinet was appointed Secretary of State for India and made responsible for all matters related to governance of India. He was given a council to advise him called the India Council. The Governor General of the India was given the title of Viceroy, that is a personal representative of the Crown. Through these measures, the British government accepted direct responsibility for ruling India. So what was the first changes? As the East India was directly ruling on India, they were having the direct power. Now this power was given to whom? To the British Crown. So it means the Crown would be more responsible than the East India Company, because East India Company were always thinking about their profit. So here British Crown could ensure more responsible management for the Indian affairs. Even the member of British cabinet, they has appointed a Secretary of State for India. Now what was his duty? He was made responsible for all the matters related to the governance of India. Any kind of decision taken for India, he should know. So he can implement it in better way if there's something wrong is happening with the laws or whatever decision they have taken for India, then he can change there itself. It should not be changed later on, as many of the policies and many of the laws has been changed later on after the rebel of the people. He was given the council to advise him. So here the council of advisor, you can say advisor for the committee, and he was called as the India Council, where, as I said, the law, if it is not working for the Indian people, then it could be changed. Now Governor General of India was given the title of Viceroy. Now he was considered as a personal representative of Crown, who is working behalf for India. He is working in the British Crown, but for whom? For behalf of India. Now through these measures, British government accepted direct responsibility for the ruling India. This was the changes in the ruling. Second one, all ruling chief of the country were assured that the territory would never be annexed in future. So this was the assurance what was being given to the ruling chiefs, that is Rajas, Nawabs, that their territory would not be annexed in future. Now they were also allowed to pass on their kingdom to their heirers, even if it is adopted, even if they are being adopted, as the Rani Lakshmi Bai was having adopted son, and she was not allowed under the policy of doctrine of lapse. But here by this new changes in rules and regulations, here the Britishers allowed that they can give their kingdom to their natural heirer or the adopted son. However, they were made to acknowledge the British Queen as their sovereign paramount. Thus, the Indian rulers were to hold their kingdom as subordinate of the British Crown. Paramount, already we have learnt in the previous chapter. Paramount here means the supreme power is given to the British Queen. So they can give their kingdom to their heirer, and even they can rule on their kingdom, but the supreme power, the main power, is in the hands of British Queen only. The rulers or the ruling chief were considered as the subordinate for the British Crown. See the third point. It was decided that the proportion of Indian soldiers in the army would be reduced and the number of European soldiers would be increased. Now, for what reason they have done? Because the rebellion was started by the sepoys itself. So they decided that the proportion of the Indian soldier would be reduced. Now, to fill up that number, they are going to recruit the soldiers from European, and even they started recruiting the soldiers from Gurkhas, Sikh and the Pathans, instead of recruiting the soldiers from Awadh, Bihar and Central India and as well as South India. So the soldiers were not recruited from Awadh, Bihar, Central India or South India. Now they started recruiting the soldiers from Europe and as well as Gurkhas, Sikh and Pathans. See the fourth point, the land and property of Muslims was confiscated on a large scale and they were treated with suspicion and hostility. The British believed that they were responsible for the rebellion in big way. Again you have the answer, because the Sepoy rebellion went to Delhi, from Meerut to Delhi, and to whom they declared their leader, that is Bahadur Shah Zafar, and he was an Muslim ruler, the Mughal ruler. So here the land and the property which was of Muslim, that was being confiscated by the Britishers, and even they considered the Muslim the responsible one for the rebellion, the big rebellion that occurred. The British decided to respect the customary religious and social practices of the people in India. The next step they have taken, that was they decided to respect the customary religion what the Indians were following and the social practices what was being followed by the people of India. Now there is no changes they are going to make, as they were also converting the Indians and mainly Hindu and Muslims into Christians by luring them. So this was being stopped and now they started respecting their religions and customs. Policies were made to protect landlords and zamindar and give them security of rights over their lands. So policies were also made to protect whom? To protect the landlords and the zamindar, because they were also was being exploited, and they were given security of rights on their land also. So thus a new phase of history began after 1857. So all these things happened, why? Because of the rebellion that was being started by the Sepoy mainly, and they were being supported by the common people also. So here almost your chapter ends. This is the Khudra uprising, a case study that we are going to learn later on in the next video. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.